you guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to my first update basically for my Shop My Stash, because the first video that you saw for January was kind of the first month introduction, but today is going to be like the update for the first month. And then we're going to be doing the second month like addition of the products. What am I going to swap out and swap in, because even though this is kind of like a project pan style, but it's a Shop My Stash project pan style basically. So if you did not watch the first video, you should definitely go and check it out, and then I think you can watch this video, because it's gonna kind of be like a continuation of like a series. But basically this year in my project pan, I'm going to give myself specific goals for every single product, and instead of doing like a quarterly update or a 6-month update, I'm going to be doing monthly updates, because since it's a Shop My Stash style, I'm going to be swapping out the products every single month. So everything which I added in the month of January, I will be keeping a few things in, but I'll be swapping a lot of things out depending on where I'm at. And I will start this video first out with giving you an update on the first month. So like, what products did I enjoy, what have I been loving, what have I been not loving, etc. And then towards the second half of the video, I will tell you what I'm going to add in and what are my specific goals for those products. So any which ways, I think this intro was as descriptive as I could get. So now let's jump right into it. The first thing which was in the project was the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder. Now I do want to let you know that even though like the reviews I've seen of this product, no one said that it was like a luminous kind of a setting powder. So I was not expecting it to be the way that it is. It definitely has a luminosity to it. So if that is something that you are not looking for in your loose powder, in fact I was not looking for something like that in my loose powder, so I feel a little bit deceived in a certain way, even though I do like this product and I have been using it. But I've also been noticing that when I use it on its own, it can definitely give like an overall shine to my skin, which is not something that I'm the biggest fan of as someone who formerly had more oily skin. So that is something to keep in mind if you are looking to purchase this. If you have dry skin, or if you like a shiny dewy gluey finish to your skin, then you would like this loose powder. Otherwise I would say that you should probably skip it, because there are definitely other loose powders out there who have like a more matte finish for people who have oily skin, or who like a matte look in general on their skin. There are definitely better options, but I did decide to put this in the project and I decided to finish it up as well. So I am doing that. I'm actually mixing and kind of layering this with the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder. So I kind of put this all over my face first, and then on the specific regions of my face where I definitely want to look more matte, I will kind of put that on. And that also has a little bit of an additional coverage, which I don't really need, but for some reason that combo has been really working well for me, so that's how I've been using it. And I will hopefully be done with this in the next, I want to say like month or 2 months. Like if I kind of like put all the product on one side, I can see that I'm halfway done with it, and there is still half more left in here. So maybe by March at least I should be done, February or March, I think, because I don't use this every single day. If I do use it every single day, then I will use it up quicker. But some days I do my makeup in the office, and some days I do it at home. So when I do it at home, I use it. But if I'm doing the makeup at the office, I don't want to carry this and then the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder and everything in my makeup bag. So that's the reason why I've not been using it as often. Otherwise I think I could definitely use this up much quicker, but I'm okay with it. I think even if I finish it by March, that's a pretty good amount of time. So yes, that was the first product. Then the next two products are from Sugar. I'll kind of talk about them together because it's the same range, same how do you say, like it's the Contour de Force line basically. So we have the Contour de Force bronzer, which is this one right here, and I don't know if you can see, second, yeah, I don't know if you can see, but this one has a very how do you say, like there's a little bit of like, I feel like a hard pan, not really, because I can get the product out really well, but there is like definitely a dip going on in here. And I am my goal on this one is just to hit pan on it, not to completely use it up, because that would be crazy. That would definitely take the entire year, but I want to hit pan on this hopefully at least before like June, I want to say, or maybe like the half year point of the year, like by June 30 also, if I'm able to use this, I would be really happy. So yes, I'm making some good progress on this. And then parallelly, I've been not parallelly but like simultaneously, I've been using the contour shade as well from the Contour de Force face palette. Now this one, I feel like the use and the usage is a little bit more visible, and I have a feeling, I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that I will hit pan on this before I hit pan on the bronzer, because I think even like in terms of when I started using both of them, I started using the contour shade first, like years and years ago, and then the bronzer I got in much later. So yeah, this has more obvious like the usage and the dip is a little bit more obvious in this one. So yes, my goal is to hit pan on each of these, and I'm hoping that I'm able to do them before June at least, and I think I would be good. I'm very happy with my usage on these as well. Now something which I'm not as happy about, and I will be taking out of the project, like these two, by the way, these three actually are going to continue to be in the project. I'm not going to take them out, hopefully till I use my goal on them, and I'm hoping I don't get bored of each of them, like either of them basically. But something I'm going to take out of the project, because I have kind of decided to have a different goal for this one. So this is the Wet n Wild, what is it called, Color Icon, I think, eyeshadow palette in the shade, yeah, Color Icon eyeshadow palette in the shade Rosé in the Air. Now this one, I don't mind keeping it in the project, but I've noticed whenever I do use it, I only tend to use the transition shades. I don't use any of the colorful shades or any of the shades in the center. If you can see, I don't know how well you'll be able to see on camera, but these two shades have the most use on them, and then the all the other shades barely have any use on them. So that is something which I am not as happy about, that I am not using the colorful shades at all. I am only using the transition shades, and I could continue to have it in the project and just continue to use it like this, but then I feel like what's the point of adding in an entire eyeshadow palette? I could just add two shades which are similar to this and use those. Like, why am I putting the entire palette into the project? You know what I mean? So yes, for that reason I'll be taking this out of the project, but I'm gonna tell you kind of towards the last part of the video in the outro what I plan to do with this one. So yes, that is that. Apologies for the interruption, guys, but it's kind of a great thing that the interruption happened, because I remember that I didn't tell you how many times I used this. So I actually used this palette like 15 times. Again, I was just using the transition shades. I wasn't using any of the shimmery shades or any of the center shades basically, but I still did use it 15 times, which I'm going to be counting for the project in the future. But I will tell you like later in the video, like I said, what we're gonna plan to do with this palette for the rest of the year. So that is that. Before we move on to the lip products, let me just talk about one more thing, which is the blush. So I put the Tarte Exposed blush in my first month, because this shade, in my opinion, is very similar to the Colourpop blush which I used up, which is unfortunately discontinued, so I cannot repurchase that, even though I would have loved to do that. So I put this blush in just to kind of like feel like I still have the Colourpop blush with me, just in a different brand, in a different format. And I don't know if you can see, but I have major what do you say, like major progress on this specific blush, because the Tarte blushes kind of have an embossment on the top, and in this specific shade the embossment is like basically gone. I would say it's 95% gone. And if I show you like a close-up of this, which I will try to insert if I remember to do that while editing, the rings that this product has in the pan is kind of visible. Like I can see there's a circle in the center, and then like I can basically see the pan through the product itself. So that tells me that if I give myself the goal to hit pan on this, maybe even use it up, I could do it by the end of this year, which was kind of like my goal for this year any which ways. But I will be taking it out of the project only and only because I want to use my other blushes as well, and I want to rotate all my blushes in throughout all the 12 months of this year. I don't want that I just focus on 1 or 2 blushes for the entire year and then the rest of my blush collection is just sitting and like basically going old. So because I want to do that, that's the only reason that I'm taking this out of the project. But I will be putting this in back very soon. And in this month, even though my goal was to use it 24 times, I've actually used it 25 times. I used it yesterday as well. I'm not wearing it today. I'll tell you a little later what I'm wearing today on my face. But yes, I used it more than I was supposed to use it, because I was like, I can stop at 24. But then yesterday I was like, what should I do? Like, should I just use this? And I was like, you know what, let me just use it. So I have 25 uses on this Tarte blush, which I'm very excited about. So now that we have all the like non-lip products done with, let's move to the lip products. I have 5 lip products. Now I was using these two together in combination. This is the Plum Matte in Heaven liquid lipstick in the shade Toast Wanted, and the Nykaa Ultra Matte lipstick in the shade Mona Lisa. I was using them together as a combination, which is why the number of uses that I have on both of them are basically the same. I got 11 uses out of each of these, which in my opinion is pretty good. So yes, I do plan to continue to keep this in the project because I feel like I'm very close to being done with this liquid lipstick. I can definitely use it up if I consistently use it. I feel like in the next month, just the way I've been using it in the month of January. So for that reason, I will continue to keep these 2 in the project, and let's see if in my next update I can tell you that, oh, this lipstick is completely done with. That would be very exciting, because I think it will be the first makeup empty of the year, and that too a lipstick. I mean, how amazing is that? So yes, that is that. Then talking about Plum liquid lipsticks, I did put in one more Plum liquid lipstick, which is a different shade. This is the shade Sugar and Spice. Like you can see, it's a very spicy, bold lip color. It looks like more of a dark grape color, but on the lips it comes off very purple, almost a little too purple. Like when you put it on, it looks a mix of pink and purple, but the more it dries down on the lips, it turns more and more purple. So that's the reason why I discovered it's not my absolute favorite shade to wear because of how purple it turns. I feel like a lot of lip colors, if they have too much cool toned ness in them, then they turn very purple on me, and that doesn't look very flattering on my complexion, because I feel like I have more warmish undertones to my skin. So that is the reason why I feel like it doesn't look the best on me personally. So yes, for that reason I feel like I will be taking this out of the project. And I've also discovered that if I use it along with a shade like this is Nykaa Soul Sister, which I'll tell you about next. But if I use a shade like this basically and pair them together, it kind of cancels out the purpleness a little bit. So if I'm using this shade in the future, I will definitely pair something like this together and then use this lipstick. So that's that. By the way, I'll tell you how many times I used this. I used this 4 times, which is not too bad, and one of those 4 times was along with this. So just a little bit more information for you right there. Okay, I realized I was looking a little washed out in the previous clip. It was probably because I was on the phone earlier, and that's why my camera kind of had a little bit of makeup on. But I feel like I look better today, but I still look a little bit washed out. I'm not sure if it's because of the makeup or it's because of the way the sun is falling on my face, because I do film in natural light, by the way. So anyways, let's keep all of that aside, and since we were talking about this, let's move on to talking about this lipstick. Again, it's one of my favorite shades. I have loved this shade in 2023, and I decided to put it in for 2024 as well, and I'm glad I did use this in January, because I noticed usually I'm wearing this lipstick only when I'm filming or if I'm going out and I want to put this lipstick on. But this year, like when I say this year, I mean this month, I was also using this a lot as an everyday like office lipstick, which I don't usually do, or I rather hadn't done it in the past, but I did in January. and I did enjoy it quite a bit. But I've also noticed that if I'm having a very oily, greasy kind of a meal, it does definitely like come off completely my lips, which is something I'm not sure whether I'm happy about it or not. I'm not necessarily disappointed that bad, because I feel like it's a very affordable lip color and I love the shade and I love the formula. So for that reason, I'm not highly disappointed. I'm just a little bit disappointed with that. But nevertheless, I used this 10 times in January itself, which is quite a bit, I would say. Again, like I said, I've been using this as an everyday lipstick as well as for filming or if I'm going out, etc. So that's how I got my 10 uses on this. But I will be taking it out of the project after January. I might probably put it again a little bit later this year, but now I want to also rotate the other lipsticks that I have in my collection, which are kind of the same shade also. So a small spoiler into our July selection would be that hint basically for you guys. And then the last lip product for January, which I want to update you on, and the last product also that I want to update for you, update you for January, is the Plum lip crayon in the shade La La Land. Now this is actually the lipstick that I have on my lips today, and it is something which, it's not my absolute favorite. I would say I kind of feel like I have a love-hate relationship with this shade, because certain days it looks really good on me and certain days I feel like it's kind of washing me out. It doesn't make me look very good. I also think it depends on the outfit that I'm wearing and my entire makeup look as a whole as well. But on days where I feel like none of the other shades would go with my outfit, I tend to reach for this shade. It's kind of one of those which, if nothing else works, then this works, kind of a thing. So this I used 5 times in January, and I do want to get a little bit more use on this in February, which is why I will continue to keep this in the project and give it more and more use and more love, and then we will continue to see how I feel about it. I like the formula, but it's not my absolute favorite. I would say I definitely prefer the Faces lip crayons over the Plum lip crayon, but it's not a bad formula regardless. If it was that bad, I would have probably decluttered it by now. So if I'm not doing that, then it's a good sign. It's a sign that I want to try it out and like hopefully make it work for me. So we will continue to attempt that in February. I think that's it for my January update. I cannot think of anything else I want to update you on. So let's move on to talking about our February selection now. Again, like I told you, some of the products are going to remain the same, like the e.l.f. loose powder. Then we have the sugar bronzer and contour. So that is 3 products. Then we are also going to keep this in. This is our 4th product, like I told you. And then we have 5 and we have 6. So 6 products are going to basically remain the same from January to February. Now let's talk about the 6 products I'm going to add in. And yes, I said 6 because even though I had only 10 products in January, I've decided to not give myself a restriction. I don't want to add like 20 things, but I was feeling a little restricted at the number 10. I tried to just add in 4 more new products, but because I couldn't do that, I decided to go with 12 instead of 10. I don't know if it's just going to be a February thing or we're going to continue to do that in the next couple of months as well. I'm not sure about that. But let me quickly tell you what else we're adding in for February. So out of the 6 new things, we have 2 blushes. One of them I'm wearing today on my cheeks, which is the Essence The Blush, and this is in the shade Befitting. This I also feel like is a little bit similar to Tarte Exposed and the Colourpop blush, but it is not exactly the shade, exactly the same. I'm sorry. On the cheeks it looks quite similar, I will tell you that. By the way, I didn't mention it. This is what I have on my cheeks, and this is the shade right here. So again, it looks kind of similar, but not exactly the same. I feel like there's a very minor difference. Yeah, can you see? This is how they look like in comparison to each other, and I feel like on the cheeks they basically look as close as we can get. So yes, a very affordable option, easily available in India as well, kind of an option. So yes. that is that, and this is what I'm going to be adding in for February, and let's see how much of use I can get on this. Another product which is also a blush, and I feel like adding in 2 blushes is going to make things spicy for me personally. So let's see which blush I reach for more in February. Is going to be the new, like this is the newest blush. I mean, I did buy both of them together, but this one I started using right out of the gate, whereas this one I haven't used as much. This is the Flower Beauty Flower Pots blush in the shade Sweet Pea. So even though I thought Sweet Pea is going to kind of be similar to this, it's actually a more cool tone shade. I don't know if you can see. Let me try and show you a comparison. Sweet Pea looks definitely more cool toned, and like almost it looks slightly lighter as well as compared to the essence in Befitting. So again, I want to see how I can make this one work for me, what looks I can add it in, what lip colors it will look good with, etc. So that is the reason I want to put this, just to like experiment, and we're just enjoying our makeup collection right here. So I'm adding both of them in for February, and I will of course update you later about which one got more uses and which one I reached for more essentially. Then for eyeshadows, I'm adding in my single eyeshadows palette. Basically, this is a Z palette in which I put all my single eyeshadows. All these shades are from Colourpop. These 9 shades are from different palettes, and you can depot the eyeshadows because they do have like a magnet in the pan, so you can just pop them out of your palette and like customize something like this on your own. And then this individual shade that you see over here is a single eyeshadow from Colourpop. Like you can buy these individually. Of course, I'm not sure if you can buy the shade anymore. I don't even remember what the shade is, but these are my singles which have not got any love from me in 2023. So I decided, you know what, I want to keep them in 2024 and get as much use as I can on these. I don't know if I can hit pan on any of them by the end of the year, but at least I want to add it in the project. Like add them, use them for a month here, a month there, and see how I feel about them, and then I will know whether I want to consistently use them for the entire year or like half of the year to get considerable progress, or like what exactly do I want to even do with it is what I want to figure out, which is why I'm putting this in February. Which is why, that is also one of the reasons I took the Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette out, is because I want to give this more love as of now. So yes, we have that, and then I'm sorry, our last 3. Today's video just has so many interruptions, you guys. I just can't deal with this because I'm not used to this usually in my videos, but today there's like so much happening everywhere, and then I have to like figure out ki I hope my phone is in the same position that it was in the previous clip. Oh my god. Anyways, we quickly just have 3 more lip products to talk about, and then we'll be done with this video. These are the 3 lip products. So I am adding in the Miss Claire Matte Power Lip Color. I know I love this formula, but this is a newer shade that I got. I mean, in the sense, it's not like new. I've owned this for a few months, but I've not used it as much. Whenever I reach for this formula, I reach for either the bright pink or the nude. This is a nude pink shade, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you what it looks like, but this I think is going to be a very nice everyday neutral pink to wear, even to work. If I'm looking for a neutral pink, this is going to be a great option. So I want to add that in, and I want to see what the formula is like, which is why I'm adding in this. And I just want to get more use on this because I feel like I have not used it as much as I have used the other 2 shades. So yes, that is why I added in this one to the project. And then I gave you a hint earlier that since I'm removing Nykaa Soul Sister from the project, I'm going to add in the same shade but in a different brand and a different formula. This is the Maybelline Superstay Matte Inks in the shade Ruler, and I'm not sure why this specific shade number is not called Ruler anymore, so I'm not really sure what's up with that, you guys. But when I did the swatch for YouTube Shorts, some people came up to me and they were like, what is this shade and what is the number, what is the name, etc., because apparently they have changed the numbering a little bit. So I'm really sorry, you guys, I don't know. I've owned this for like 3 to 4 years now. and that is also one of the reasons I want to use it up, is because I have had this for longer than I've had a lot of the other products in my collection. I'm pretty sure this is one of the oldest, if not the oldest. I mean, I still have Maybelline Touch of Spice also, which is pretty old, but this is one of the longest that I've had in my collection. So I want to kind of use it up, and I don't know, again, with liquid lipsticks you never know how much is left inside, so I want to use this consistently in February and in the months to come as well in 2024, so that hopefully this year I'm able to use this up. So yes, that's why I'm putting this in the February rotation. And then the last product is this Fenty Beauty by Rihanna Stunner Lip Paint in the shade Uncensored. It is the red one, number 01, and this is a beautiful nail polish looking liquid lipstick. This is definitely not the shade I thought I was buying. I thought I was buying a more cool toned red. This is a little bit more on the neutral / warm side, but for some reason when I wore it for the first time in a video, which you might have seen that video go up in, I used the Flower Beauty blush also in the same video. I kind of wore these two together, and you might think that how is a cool toned pink blush going to look with a warm red, but for some reason it did look really well. It sounds crazy, but I don't know if the video that I did is going to be up by the time this is up or not. Probably not, because I've been doing a lot of pre-filming, so I'm not sure. But yes, you will see me use these two together in a video, and you will also see the same makeup look in a lot of other videos as well. So yeah, these two do work well together, and I want to give this lipstick a little bit more love, and I just want to try to get into red lipstick more in 2024. I've been trying to do that for a few years now, and hopefully 2024 is the year when I'm able to really accomplish that and use red more often. So yes, that's the reason I want to put this in and just see how many times I can use it. I don't need to use it 24 times, even though that's my goal kind of, but yeah, by the way, I didn't mention the goals for any of the other products, right? So I'll tell you, all the lipsticks, these 3 new ones I want to use 24 times, and the ones that are coming from the previous project, like these 3 for example. So these 3 I need to have 13 more uses on, because I used these 11 times last month. So for this my number would be 13, and for this I used it 5 times including today. So for the next month my goal kind of would be 19 times. Then for the blushes, again I'm going to keep my goal at 24 for each of them, out of which this I used today, so it would be like 23, and then this would be 24. That would be my goal on these. This palette, I don't really have a goal on yet. I just want to use, actually, you know what, I should give myself the goal to use each of the shades at least once in the entire month, and I don't really have a specific goal on this one. I just want to use it throughout the month, and yeah, I think that should be my goal, is to use this every single time I'm doing my makeup in February. I think that would be a good goal. And with using it every single time I'm doing my makeup this month, I want to use every single shade at least once. That would be a good goal, right? So yeah, that would be my goal on this. And then you already know my goal on these. I want to finish this and I want to hit pan on these 2. So that is me telling you all my goals, me telling you the number of uses, and me kind of updating you with everything. So yes, that is that for you. That's that for this video, you guys. With 4 interruptions or 3 interruptions, I'm not sure, we are done with this video. And yes, I'm very, very, very much looking forward to February. I'm going to be very honest, I had hit like a point this month where I felt a little bit bored with the products that I added in the project, because I felt like I've used all of them like at least once. So once or twice, some even multiple times. That is kind of the reason why I added a little bit more lip products this time in the month as compared to the previous month, but that's okay. That is kind of my goal, is to not have any strict rules basically, and to how do I say, just make the project fun and not let any rules restrict me, because a lot of times I feel like in the beginning of the year I add in certain products and then I'm just stuck with those products till the end of the year. In 2024 I wanted my project plan to be successful, and for that reason I kept the rules, all the rules, very loose. And with doing monthly updates I kind of get the chance to bend and mold things however I possibly can. So I'm going to quickly tell you some project pan challenges that I've kept for myself in 2024. This is something I came up with sometime in the middle of January, and even though it was a little late, because ideally you should be sharing this in the intro of the year, but I thought, you know what, January is supposed to be like a trial month. That's what everyone says. That's all the memes are about. कि ये तो trial month था, New Year तो February से चालू होगा. So yes, I'm gonna kind of go with that because I wanted to incorporate these things in 2024's project pan regardless. So yeah, I have 4 things which I've kind of set out till now, and I might add in more things if anything comes to my mind which I want to do for the rest of the year, but as of now we just have 4 things. The first one would be to use up a bold lip color in 2024, and I think that if I use up this lipstick in February, my first goal would be done. And then I would possibly focus on another bold lip product if I can use this one up, which would definitely happen, I know. So this is a pretty relatively easy goal, I would say. The second one would be to use shimmery eyeshadows for special events, and this is where this palette comes into play. Along with this eyeshadow palette which has shimmery shades, I also have 2 shimmery shades in my Colourpop singles, and then I also have my Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette, which has I think 4 or 5, I can't remember, shimmery eyeshadows. So basically what I mean by this goal is that I want to use shimmery eyeshadows for special events, is that there are times where if I'm getting ready for you know, going out with my friends, or maybe even a family function, or even a wedding, like it could be any occasion, I do my same neutral eyeshadow look. And sometimes if I am pairing my eyeshadow with my lehenga or something, I'll do a little bit of a color in the crease and on the lids, but apart from that I don't use shimmery eyeshadows at all, like at all. So what I want to do is just glam up and take my eyeshadow looks a notch up when I'm getting ready for special occasions. I don't think I'm the person who can use shimmery eyeshadows every single day, and I don't want to be that person, but at least I want to use it for special occasions. So my goal would be that every single time I'm getting ready for like a special occasion, I have to put shimmery eyeshadows on my lids. And I'm going to count the number of special occasions that I go to, and I'm going to count how many times I used a shimmery eyeshadow versus the number of times I didn't. So that is something which I will update you in the finale, basically around December 31st. Like what were the numbers, how many events did I go to, and how many times did I actually use shimmery eyeshadow, and accordingly I will rate myself and tell you if this was a success or a fail. Then my third goal would be to hit pan / use up 2 blushes. Again, like I said, where is it? The Tarte Exposed Blush I'm very close to hitting pan on, and then I want to possibly hit pan on another blush as well. And of course, instead of hitting pan, if I can use up an entire blush, that would be absolutely amazing. I would love to do that because it did happen in 2023, and I would love for that to happen in 2024 as well. But at least I want to hit pan on 2 blushes, if not completely use up 2 blushes in 2024. So that's my third goal. And then my fourth goal is to apply a 1 in 1 out policy, or rather I should say a 1 out 1 in policy on my lipsticks. So basically I don't want to buy too many lip products and have my collection grow and expand in terms of lip products in 2024. So I feel like right now I'm at a very good number where I can easily rotate them, and I will kind of tell you how long it took for me to rotate all the lip products that I have in my collection in various Shop My Stash videos. So as and when I start having more and more lip empties, I will accordingly decide what new lipsticks I want to buy, and whether I want to repurchase certain shades which I already have in my collection, or do I want to, or rather I should say, whatever lipsticks I use up, I would either repurchase the same shade, or I would consider, should I buy a new lipstick instead and try out a new shade, a new formula, etc. But I want to apply the one out one in policy, so that way my lipstick collection does not get out of hand. And again, I will update you on this by the end of the year by telling you how many lipstick empties do I have and how many new lipsticks did I buy in 2024. So that's my 4th goal. And yes, as of now I just have 4 goals. I was thinking maybe I should add another one to at least have like a number of 5, but I didn't have anything, and I don't want to give myself a goal just for the sake of it. So yes, as of now I just have 4 goals, and I will I'm not sure how regularly I want to update you guys on this and tell you whether I hit a goal or not. I don't think I will incorporate this segment of the video in every single update, but if I feel like I've hit one of the goals, or if I'm adding in a new goal in the list, then I will maybe talk about this kind of in the outro of my future updates, which I'm going to be doing on a monthly basis. So yes, that is that. That is it for the video. I am pretty sure this video is longer than I had expected or hoped for it to be. So thank you so much for keeping me company throughout this video, you guys. But that is it. I gotta go now. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye. Bye bye.